Alright, anime fans, before modern card game anime and toy-based shows completely exploded, there was Bakugan Battle Brawlers, an anime that mixed monsters, strategy, dimension-breaking stakes, and pure early 2000s chaos into something ridiculously addictive. And honestly, Season 1 had no business being this intense for a show people assumed was just made to sell toys. Because underneath the flashy battles and cool monsters was a surprisingly dark story about war, sacrifice, friendship, and entire worlds collapsing. At first, Bakugan feels simple. Kids throw cards, monsters appear, battles happen. Cool, right? But then the anime suddenly starts talking about parallel dimensions, genocide, political corruption, sacrifice, entire civilizations on the edge of destruction. And you're sitting there thinking, hold on, why is this toy anime getting this serious? That's exactly why Season 1 stands out so much. So, the story begins when one day mysterious cards start falling from the sky all around Earth. Kids begin using them and create a game called Bakugan. These cards summon powerful creatures from another dimension called Vestroya. Bakugan becomes a competitive sports for children who create a tournament-style setting where players are ranked on their victories and losses in the game. The main protagonist, Dan Kuso, forms a group called the Battle Brawlers, alongside Marucho Marukura, Shun Kazami, Runo Misaki, Julie Makamoto, and Alice Gahabich. At first, battles feel competitive and fun. But one day, while battling, Dan encounters Drago, a powerful dragon Bakugan, fighting in Vestoria, and the two become partners. Through Drago and other Bakugan like him, the truth gets revealed. Bakugan are real living beings. And even worse, the battles on Earth are destabilizing Vestroya itself. Entire regions begin collapsing into a void dimension called the Doom Dimension. So suddenly the story becomes way bigger than a simple game. The Battle Brawlers are dragged into a full-scale conflict involving dimension collapse, corrupt rulers, betrayal, and the survival of Vestroya itself. And honestly, the stakes escalate fast as hell. Now let's talk about the action. This is where Season 1 becomes insanely entertaining. The battles combine strategy, monster combat, attribute matchups, and card abilities. And unlike many later toy anime, battles actually feel tense. When Bakugan are summoned, the battlefield transforms completely. Monsters grow massive, and special abilities can totally change the battle conditions in an instant. And the fights, well, they aren't just about who punches harder or anything like that. Characters actually use tactical card combinations, attribute advantages, and even environmental strategies. All of that made the battles feel way smarter than most people expected, honestly. And, the biggest reason the action really works? Losing actually matters. There's the thing called Doom Dimension. Bakugan that get sent to the Doom Dimension are basically erased forever. So, every battle carries some real emotional weight. When characters lose their partners, it actually feels serious. Like, not just some temporary anime drama or whatever. Now coming to animation and music, the animation hasn't aged perfectly, but honestly, the energy still carries it. There were these bright battle effects, distinct monster designs, and a really fast pacing during fights. The Bakugan themselves had awesome visual variety too. Like, you had dragon-like creatures, mechanical beasts, and even dark demonic monsters. The soundtrack? Pure nostalgic adrenaline. The battle themes constantly made fights feel urgent, dramatic, and super high stakes. And yeah, the opening themes still slap. Now coming to the themes. Underneath the toy-selling chaos, Season 1 actually explored some solid ideas. It's about responsibility. The kids start using Bakugan as a game, but eventually realize their actions affect real lives and entire worlds. That transition from childish fun to real responsibility becomes surprisingly emotional. It's about friendship. So, the bond between humans and Bakugan is treated seriously. Bakugan aren't just tools, they're partners. And, the anime constantly reinforces trust and loyalty between them. It's about power and corruption. Characters like Masquerade show how obsession with power destroys people emotionally. The series repeatedly asks, how far should someone go to win? Its impact. This is honestly one of the most fascinating parts of Bakugan history. In Japan, the anime struggled because the toy market was already dominated by franchises like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. Japanese audiences didn't connect as strongly with Bakugan's Western-influenced style, and its storytelling structure felt more international than traditionally Japanese. But outside Japan, the anime exploded, especially in North America, Canada, Europe, and parts of Asia. Why? Because the series perfectly matched what international kids loved at the time. Cool monsters, competitive battles, collectible toys, and fast-paced storytelling. The marketing was massive too. The toys became insanely popular, and suddenly Bakugan was everywhere. Honestly, it became way bigger overseas than the creators probably expected. So why it's worth watching? A lot of new-gen fans ignore older toy anime because they assume they're shallow. But Season 1 of Bakugan genuinely holds up better than people expect. You get high-stakes monster battles, surprisingly dark moments, fun strategy-based combat, strong character chemistry, and a unique dimensional war storyline. And unlike many modern overproduced shows, it has this raw, early 2000s energy that feels weirdly charming and sincere. Final thoughts. Bakugan Battle Brawlers. Season 1 was way more than just a toy commercial. It was a monster battle anime, a dimension war story, and a surprisingly emotional adventure filled with cool fights, memorable villains, and genuine stakes. Yeah, it could be cheesy. Yeah, it was over the top sometimes, but honestly, that passionate, chaotic energy is exactly why so many people still remember it fondly today. Because when those Bakugan landed on the battlefield and the music kicked in, it felt like the coolest shit in the world. That's it for today. Share your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe for more anime content, and I'll catch you in the next one, my Battle Brawlers.